here we are. Here's video 2. This one is definitely going to be more active, but it's not jumping around the room yet. This one involves where your tongue is while you are doing a pretty basic move. And if you are somebody with a stiff neck, stiff shoulders, you're going to want to watch this. You will be surprised at the role your tongue plays in all of the movements that we make. My really deeper intention on this video is that this is the pathway of your immune system. This is the physical pathway that your immune system needs to travel and communicate with your brain and everything else that you got going on. So have fun, really dig deep and feel this and feel the connection. And I love doing this, so I want to hear your comments and I want to hear your requests. And I really hope you're enjoying this. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side of this video. So as we began in the others, we're going to lift the tongue up through the center part and spread it across the palate. If you see the visual aid there, you can see the greatness of the tongue and the strength it has. So peel it up and spread it across the palate and feel it anchoring. And here we're going to add breath to this. So as you breathe in, feel the tongue anchored and feel it begin to pull down the throat. As air comes in, that tongue is tethered to the teeth. Feel the inside of the throat and imagine there's a ball in there. And on the inhale, you roll it backwards and you'll feel your rib cage rise in the front. Inhaling, rolling that ball back and dragging it down the throat, while exhaling, rolling it forward and lifting it up. Check the anchor on the tongue. Continue practicing your breathing, rolling the ball down as you breathe in, rolling it down and spinning it backwards, and then reversing on the exhale. So this is a really deep stretch, but it doesn't look like much is going on, but as you practice and feel this, you'll see it's a very deep stretch. You feel it on the inside of the neck, the throat. Now the shoulder girdle, the scapula and the clavicle there, you'll see they rest right on the rib cage. So there's a lot going on in this joint here, and shoulder problems almost always will be a sign of problems with the rib cage. So here we are, you can see this giant muscle, this is serratus anterior, and as you raise your arm, you can see how that muscle would lift the front of the rib cage. You can see it right in that picture. And the lifting of the rib cage there, that's inspiration. That's where we inhale. That's where we're going to get the biggest breath. So we want to create as much elongation in the throat and there under the armpit, pulling on the ribs. So you'll feel this elongation at the back of the throat, at the front of the neck there. I'm just going to slow this video down here for a moment for you to feel. Go do this with me and imagine yourself reaching for a coffee cup up out of the cupboard, and how your tongue can tether in the assist while you raise your arm, and how the whole rib cage shifts. And not just that, but the filling of the lungs, the rib cage, and the pull, the length of the tongue and the esophagus. Well, it's time to shake it off and move to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. Set the tongue, get the breath going, roll that ball on the inhale, and then reverse the roll on the exhale, and try the other arm. Check in. Each side's going to feel different. On mine, the left side of my tongue doesn't like to stay anchored, so I always have to go back in. But if you look in this video, you can see my rib cage lifts and lowers. Now this picture that you see, that's the esophagus. And through my throat where you see me pulling, this is what I'm pulling down into my stomach. That's how long that reach of the pull with the tethered tongue up at the roof, all the way down through the thoracic spine, through the thoracic cavity. Again, anchoring the tongue, pulling the esophagus. And here in this picture you can see these are the muscles of the pharynx. Now here you're observing my challenge. I have scar tissue, deep scar tissue. It began as an infant in my thumb, traveled up my arm, and it likes to take residence right up here. So this is a really good guide for you to just see. I'm putting my attention in the spot where my finger is there, not just under my finger, but that whole area. And I'm pulling with my tongue and with those serratus anterior muscles that you saw earlier. My tongue, I'm reminding it to stay. I'm keeping my jaw. I'm remembering the breath. And I'm stretching deep, deep, deep inside. It feels like entangled vines in there. And each breath and each movement, it moves that scar tissue and I get a little more freedom. Remember here to use the rib cage. We often hear the cue shoulders back and down, often forgetting all of these bones that assist with that. So glide the cage when you lift your arms. All right, let's pull it all together. You're going to do both arms now. You ready? Tether your tongue. Get that throat going. Pull down, breathe in, roll the ball backwards while you breathe in. Roll the ball forward while you exhale. Breathe in, lift your arms, roll the ball back and slide it down the throat. Exhale, bring the arms forward, roll the ball forward as well. You can go side to side, same thing. Tether the tongue, pull, lift. Just feel where you can elongate deep, deep, deep within you. Okay, so there you have it. I hope you learned a lot from this and felt a lot, and that right now your neck and your throat and your shoulders feel and move a little differently. It's quite possible your voice might take on a little change here because we just opened that tube. And the one that's going to bring all that air and all of those inflate the lungs. Again, please leave comments, requests, suggestions. I look forward to your feedback, and I really, really hope and encourage that you're going to participate in these and do these to stimulate your immune system, because your health is also affecting everybody else.